Confession. I found my disabled brother's diary and I'm still in shock. I am 29, female, and I have a disabled brother who is 24. We didn't have much growing up, but we were super close and enjoyed spending time as family. As kids, me and my brother were best friends, and since I was 5 years older, I was his secondary caregiver slash babysitter most of the time, and I totally loved it. But one day, our lives changed forever. At the time, I was 12 and he was 7. My brother was running across the street to get his toy while he was hit by a car. He was severely injured and needed to be hospitalized for several weeks. He survived, but his legs were crushed and had to be amputated to save him. He would be bound to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. His disability meant that he would have to rely on members of the family for certain daily tasks that he couldn't do for himself. I was okay with helping him do the things he couldn't do for himself, but after a while, I started to feel overworked and then I began to resent him for it. I hated that I didn't have enough free time like the other girls my age. I would act disgusted whenever I had to change or bathe him. It always made me feel bad and he would apologize. He even pooped himself a few times instead of asking me to help him because he was scared of how rude my response to would be. Also in school, some rude kids would say some mean things about his disability and appearance. That made me sad and embarrassed. I avoided being seen with him in public and even at home. I never really played with him or talked to him that much. When he was 15 to 16, he became a little mean to my parents for a while and really made me resent him more. About a year later, I went to college in neighboring and almost never saw him again. It's been 6 years since I've seen him or talked to him, and so much has changed since then. Both of my parents passed away in 2020 due to COVID. I also got married, but unfortunately, my husband passed away after battling with cancer and we lost almost everything. I'm pretty much starting from scratch. I just moved into a smaller, cheaper apartment for me and my daughter. And while unpacking some old books, I found my brother's diary. He had it when he was 19. I saw a folded note sticking out, so I thought I'd take a look at it. It turned out to be a suicide note he wrote when he was 19. The first few words were absolutely heartbreaking. He wrote, "I'm so sorry for being such a burden to everyone. I want to go so you all can have some peace." He talked about his struggles with his disability, the unnecessary aids he receives, the public stares, and sometimes laughter. The cruel comments from strangers as well. He also called me his big sister in his words. "I miss you, big sister. I wish we could go back to being kids again. I forgive you, but I hope you forgive me too." My heart shattered. I immediately reached out to his friend on Facebook and asked about him. He says he's doing okay and living on disability. He spoke with him a few days ago. I felt some relief knowing he was okay. Then I read the notes a few more times. I was absolutely shocked and broken to imagine him going through all that at time. Yet, he never said anything to anyone. I thought he'd hate me for the way I treated him, but no, he never spoke about me at all. What an angel my brother is. I just broke down and cried. I felt so sorry for failing him. He did. I forgive him for those words when he was cold towards my parents. I know now that he was dealing with depression and struggling with suicidal thoughts. That was abs- that was probably his way of dealing with the pain. I don't judge him. I feel so sorry for pushing him away and for the unfair treatment. I want to see him so bad and apologize for how I treated him. I want us to be best friends again. He lives 5 hours away and I'm planning to go visit him next week. Maybe stay a few days and just spend time to make up for all the lost years. Maybe go to some cool places. He loves road trips. Maybe we'll go for a road trip too. I don't know what I would say to make things right or how to say it, but I'm happy that I even have a chance to see him and make things right. Okay, well, all I can say is definitely not too late. Yeah, reach out to him. Try to be the big sister that you weren't. Give him all the love. Yeah, he deserves the love.